Passive pronominals and subjective pronominals. In this video, we're going to be looking at the meaning of passive pronominals, how to conjugate passive pronominals, and their uses, of course, with examples. And then moving on to subjective pronominals. What are they about? Their meaning, and the verbs that are also under subjective pronominals, basically examples. And would crown it up with classwork, very important. C'est parti! What are passive pronominals? A third type of pronominal verbs are the passive pronominals. With the passive pronominal verbs, the subject is not an animal or a person, and the subject does not perform the action of the verb, but rather is subjected to it. It's usually conjugated in the third person. If you don't know what third person means, first person is je, I. Second person is tu, you. Third person, singular, is il, elle, which is he, she. First person plural is nous. Second person plural is vous. And third person plural is il, elle, which is they. Now, here in passive pronominals, you're going to be conjugating it in the third person singular with ce. Vous comprenez? Now, I know this explanation I gave is just somehow. Let me just break it down. When I say the subject does not perform the action, I mean, if I say something like rice is cooked in a pot, I'm not saying dogs cook rice in a pot. That means I'm referring to dogs. Dogs here would be the subject. No. I'm also not saying Americans cook rice in the pot. No. That would mean I am pointing at Americans. I just said rice is cooked in a pot. It's like an unwritten rule. That's why I said everybody is subjected to it. It's not pointing at anybody in particular, but somehow, some way, we're all subjected to it. That is the essence of passive pronominals. Rice is cooked, house is cleaned, this is done, this is not done. Those kind of situations, that's where you would use passive pronominals. Now, let's take an example. Like the instruction says, it is conjugated in the third person singular with ce. Let's take the verb faire, which means to do. Now, if I want to make a sentence like this is done, or this is not done, we're going to take faire now and conjugate it in the third person singular, which would be fait. Now, what do? We place ce in front of it. So to say this is done is going to be ça se fait. This is not done would be ça ne se fait pas. Now, I know you're probably wondering, why am I using ça instead of il? That's because, like I said, we're not pointing at anybody. The subject is not performing the action. So we just have to use ça. It's like inanimate, sort of. So that's why we use ça. Now, if you want to ask a question like, how is this translated? You would say comment, which is how. Comment ça se traduit? Comment ça se traduit? C'est comme ça. It's going to be very, very useful for asking questions. How is this done? How is this said? Where is this written? Where is this sent? Passive pronominals would be your friend. I know before knowing passive pronominals, you would want to translate something like this is done by using il est fait. No. That's why it's important to learn structures in French. Now, moving on to subjective pronominals. This one might give you a little headache because it doesn't make any sense. Let me be honest with you as your fellow English speaker. Subjective pronominals don't have any reason for existing, but they're just there. You would understand why I'm saying this. They are the last type of pronominal verbs. They are neither reflexive, nor reciprocal, nor passive. It's just for idiomatic or historical reasons. They just happen to be pronominal. That means they don't have any reason to be pronominal. They just happen to be like that. Nobody knows how come. And let me tell you what happens in subjective pronominals. Subjective pronominals, what it does is it hunts down normal verbs and transform them into abnormal creatures. You would understand. Like if we have the verb, let's take the verb aller. Aller means to go. Now when I make it subjective, it would be s'en aller, s'en aller. Where did un come from? I don't know. Don't ask me. S'en aller. Now that would then transform the meaning from to go to leave. So if I say je m'en vais, I'm leaving. Tu t'en vas, you're leaving. Il s'en va or elle s'en va. He, she is leaving. Nous nous en allons, we are leaving. Vous vous en allez, you're leaving. Ils, elles s'en vont, they are leaving. Another example, se douter, to doubt. it's often se douter de quelque chose. For example, il se doute de quelque chose. He doubts something. That de is very important. Another one, s'entendre. Now, so entendre on a normal day means what? To hear. So if I say s'entendre, it would mean to get along avec, with someone. Yeah. Weird, I know. So if I say ils s'entendent très bien, that would mean they get along very well. Basically, they get along with each other very well. So here's a list of commonly used subjective pronominals. We have s'apercevoir. S'apercevoir means to realize. S'écrouler, which means to collapse. S'emparer, which means to seize. S'évanouir, which means to faint. Se moquer, which means to make fun of. Se souvenir, which means to remember. S'envoler, which means to vanish. S'enfuir, which means to run away, to flee. Like I want to run away from French right now. And last thing, classwork, my favorite. Translate, where is this written? Write that down for me in the comments and I'm marking all of you. This brings us to the end of the video. If you found value in this, make sure to smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Connect with me on my other socials, Instagram and TikTok, where I post short, concise videos there every single day. So follow me. Once again, my name is Elizabeth Nkere, and on this channel, we make learning French fun and interesting. So once again, subscribe, okay? You see we're a vibe here. And I will see you in the next video, or maybe on TikTok, or maybe on Instagram. I don't know. À bientôt. Mwah.